Hello, everyone, and welcome in to Behind the Science. Tonight, we're talking about ALT with our very special guest, Mary Esther Gilbert. This is so exciting. My name is Julia Flynn Werre. I'm an APLGO corporate director. I'm so excited to be with you here this evening because this is really special for all of us, especially at this time of year. Before I bring in our special guest, I want to tell you a little bit about her and why we all admire her so much and are so proud that she's part of our group and part of our team and here. So she is an author. She is a researcher and a speaker, a course creator. She's also built amazing protocols. I've seen that, a video producer, and her mission is to awaken humanity to the wondrous workings of their body's inner universe so that all may master their health and unleash their higher human potential. And I can honestly say that because I have one of her printed books right here, which I just absolutely love to share with people. And this is just one of many books that she's written. So welcome in, Mary Esther Gilbert, welcome in. We're so excited that you're here.
I'm so honored to be here, and I see faces that are familiar and new faces too, so this is really exciting. I'm always happy to share the knowledge that I acquired.
It's just amazing to hear you speak. I love watching your replays and your videos and hearing the answers to your questions. So thank you for being with me here tonight. This is really exciting. I have some great questions, but before I dive in, what would you like to tell us that's really important to know about you and what you've done in your research over the years?
Oh, well, thank you for that. I'm excited to share that. You know, I started out as a clinical dietetics major way back in the 70s, and I found out that I wasn't learning how to heal people with nourishment like my grandfather. My grandfather was actually a medical doctor, but he learned from the Native Americans here in Arizona. And so he switched over his whole practice to only plant medicines for his patients. And so he was able to heal all manner of ailments. And so I guess I take after him. So yeah, I mean, I switched over to a holistic college. And due to political problems, you know, a lot of these kinds of colleges were shut down from, you know what entity. I'm sure if you don't know, please ask me later or ask Julia. She's nodding her head. But yeah, hi, John. Yeah, he's, you know, thumbs up. So yeah, I mean, that is so important. People need to realize that they do not need to fear botanicals at all. They are exactly what our body is looking for, desperately searching for. Those molecules are so perfect and so made for us, literally, that we should not ever be afraid of cellular nourishment.
Wow, that is so beautifully said. I'm going to have to record that one just by itself. That is such a beautiful thing that you said. Tonight, we're talking about our product of the month, and this product of the month is called ALT. But a lot of people have asked me, and I'm sure you've heard the question too, why is it called ALT? What does that mean? What exactly is ALT?
You know, I saw the name of the product way back in 2017, and I thought ALT, and the company was calling it alternative. And on the website, it says alternate. So I still don't quite get it, other than the fact that it might be because it is an alternative, you know. Holistic medicine is a so-called alternative. But if you go to countries who have been practicing botanical medicine for centuries and even thousands of years, they consider that the mainstream, you know, medicine. So it's not really an alternate as far as I'm concerned, and I don't think it should be for anyone else. It is a complementary, perhaps at best, or even better yet, it's exactly what our bodies need, not something that stops or hides symptoms. And that's all. That's as far as I'm going to take that.
Oh, I love that. That's so beautifully said. I think of it that way too, because I'm using it as an alternative to what I had been using previously myself. When I read the description, it says it's a defense against environmental factors. It's for healthy breathing patterns, immune response, microvascular system, vitality, and overall well-being. And I love that. But there's one word in there that I just don't understand, and that's microvascular. Could you tell us what that is?
Yeah, we have a system of blood vessels in the body, and they start out with large blood vessels, the ones that are closest to the heart. And then as you proceed through the body, you know, the blood vessels get smaller and smaller and smaller until they hit the ends of the body, which is the fingertips and the toes, you know, and also the nerve endings and all the cell, the micro circulatory problems system in the body, which is 100 trillions of cells, right, in every body system. So our blood has to carry oxygen and nutrients to all ends of our bodies. So the micro circulation is just as important, if not more so, than getting all those nutrients and oxygenation delivered through the larger blood vessels.
Oh my, that is really good information. Thank you for that. And I'm curious, if you were to pick 3 ingredients out of all of the ingredients that are in alt or alternate, what are the 3 ingredients that you think are the most important in this formulation?
Okay, well, it's really hard to pick that out, but I would say the mangosteen. I've done a lot of research on that, and there's literally 100 years of scientific research done on the mangosteen. So, you know, that I know pretty well. I've been working with that for over 20 years, and I've seen what it can do just alone for clients. But I would also say the ginger. The ginger has tons of scientific research behind that plant as well. So definitely I would include that. Gosh, the other ones are really up there too. So it's really hard to say.
Right, right. I was going to say that would be tough, but you mentioned mangosteen first. Can you tell us a little bit about what mangosteen is and what it does?
Yes, in Asia, it's known as the queen of fruits. They use the rind, also called the pericarp. And that is where most of the medicinal value of the fruit is. The pulp inside looks like an inside of an orange, only it's white, only it's really sweet. And a lot of the compounds are in the fruit as well, but mostly they're concentrated in the pericarp. So it's been shown, not just in the scientific research, but also people who have taken the mangosteen. There are literally thousands of testimonials as to what this plant will do. So it's been shown to be effective against things like dysentery, eczema, all kinds of skin conditions. It helps the body detoxify, and the skin is one of the detoxification organs. Also very, very good for urological diseases, anything having to do with the kidneys. And then also it's been known to reduce fever and stop diarrhea because of its strong antibacterial action. It's also a very effective antiviral, anti-parasitic, antifungal, anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory. So it's got so many compounds, and these are very effective and very unique compounds that aren't found in plants, at least not in such concentrated forms. And this huge class of phytochemicals is known as the xanthone classification. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is, I can go on and on. I'm giving you a real tip of the iceberg of what this plant does. So it's been known to improve nerve function, improves the heart, prevents arrhythmias, it regulates, helps your body regulate blood pressure. It's anti-allergenic or antihistaminic. So it improves the immune response to any foreign objects or pathogens at the micro scale that's circulating in the body. So that's why it's in the ALT formulation.
That is just what I was thinking, is that it has something to do with a histamine response but I didn't realize that it had such a cleansing property as well. That's amazing. But what do you think the main purpose of alt is in our body, if there was an overarching reason that we would want to use it?
Okay, well, mostly these plants, I mean, they do so much, but I can highlight what each one does for you if you'd like, if there's time.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can go through all of that, but basically it does help the immune system, and it helps the circulatory system. It helps your body with all these different things that lead to inflammatory reactions. So things in a diet can start an inflammatory process and reduce the immune system's ability to identify foreign objects, and therefore you've got this inflammatory effect, a respiratory inflammation, kind of different kinds of problems there. So, so for instance, the astragalus root, it's known as an anti-inflammatory, and it happens to inhibit the COX-2 or cyclooxygenase 2 enzyme and other inflammatory proteins like reactive oxygen species and other things that cause a cascade reaction against something that shouldn't be in the body. Okay, so that's very good for that. It'll adjust things like the excess fluid retention, your body's fluid balance, and that can also have an indication that something is wrong with the immune system too. Your body tends to either retain excess fluid in order to encapsulate or isolate all these different compounds. The immune system rushes in and tries to eat up or destroy all these different things that don't belong there. So that's what the astragalus will help do. In addition to other things like controlling liver damage, iron overload, hepatitis, inflammation of the liver, and like the mangosteen, it's an antibacterial, antiviral, an immunostimulant, anti-inflammatory. It helps the body normalize its own chemistry while under stress. And people who are under chronic stress, who isn't these days, for prolonged periods, that affects the immune system. And so we're always inhaling all these different particles, whether it's from things that you smell, like chemicals that you use in the house, all these things that don't belong in the body, they end up in the body, they tax the immune system. And so the respiratory system is very intolerant for things like that.
Wow, I did not know any of that. I'm so excited to hear all of that, because I've been looking at alt, but I didn't realize it had such incredible power in our body. And hearing you speak about it is just amazing. The flavor is black currant cherry. Does that have anything to do with the anti-inflammatory principles or any of the benefits of the alt?
Yeah, the flavorants are taken from natural food also. So the cherry, usually the flavors are most concentrated in the skin. From the cherry extract, that contains compounds that also are anti-inflammatory and very cleansing and help improve the circulatory system.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's really wonderful. Well, how soon do you think that someone would start experiencing the benefits of alt after they start using it? Is it one that works immediately, right away, or is this something that needs to build up in our system, or something different than that?
You're freezing on me. Can you repeat that?
Oh, yes, sorry about that. I was wondering how quickly someone can experience the benefits of alt. Is it an immediate response, or does it take a little bit of time?
Both. When something hits the bloodstream like this, that is so very effective. A lot of these plants are by themselves. They don't require the system to do anything. These plants and all these other nutrient factors that are in these plants, that are in the drops, actually, they end up in the drops, reduce the inflammation, and they actually destroy any microorganisms that are normally illness causing, bacteria and viruses and fungi and parasites, things like that. So yeah, I'm not sure if I heard all of your question.
Yeah, I just wondered if it was a fast acting or if it was a take time product, or both. You said it was both. So
yeah, absolutely. Once it starts circulating in the body, it'll arrive at all these different body systems. Your circulation goes everywhere, right? So when the hormonal system and all detect something that doesn't belong, act on it, it'll draw those nutrients into those particular cells in that body system and go to work where it's needed.
wow, that's amazing. So we were wondering about how this particular drop is formulated, or how this particular drop is made. And in other words, the concentration of the different ingredients. There's licorice, there's ginger, there's eucalyptus, and this unique formulation. Are these all specifically, how is this one formulated?
Yeah, the plants that were chosen for, just really targeting the respiratory system and the immune system, because it's all tied together, then it's a very good formulation for that. I mean, I can go on and describe what each botanical does, but you get the idea that they work, they're very effective against microbials that cause inflammatory responses, especially in the respiratory system. And they help all of the different immune cells. There's different kinds of immune cells. They help them function better because our immune cells contain DNA as well, and they will read the DNA from these plant substances, from the DNA of the drops, excuse me, of the botanicals in the drops. And so they take that excuse me, they take that information and will actually fix what's damaged. So our DNA literally reads the DNA of plants and extracts whatever sequences of genes that our DNA knows should be there. So our DNA is present in every single body system. So if something goes wrong in one body system, there's a backup in the other body systems. So that's why we're able to utilize plants and determine what's supposed to be there and what isn't. You know, so the body's always monitoring its own DNA to make sure everything is supposed to be there.
That is so amazing when you think about your DNA and you think about your body being able to read the DNA from this product. It's very exciting. What over-the-counter product would I be replacing with ALT?
You know, it's a very unique, all the drops are very, very unique because they extract the phytochemicals, which are literally thousands upon thousands. When I did research on this book, for instance, I found that there were over 25,000 phytochemical compounds in plants. And so from what I understand, the drops have, it's advertised as having 1,000 phytochemical compounds that are beneficial, do different things for the body. But when I was doing the research, I found even more. In fact, that's why I compiled the phytonutrient database in the book. I don't know if you've read that yet, but I thought that's just as fantastic as the monographs themselves. So, so yeah, this is really important to know because we've got to know how special these are, that they're very unique. And I do advocate people, of course, you have to have a very healthful diet. You've got to have 50 to 75% of your diet in raw fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, and different culinary herbs, you know, and herbal teas, all that stuff your body's going to use. There's never going to have enough of it. So because we're so bombarded with so many toxins in our environment and in our products that we use, our cosmetics and, you know, household cleaners and stuff in the air. So our bodies will always be able to use all these compounds that are in it. So yeah, I mean, to me, a good array of whole health, you know, nutrients that you can put into your body is not just, of course, organic foods, but a whole food vitamin and mineral supplement, because our drops are too tiny to fit in vitamins and minerals. They're just too large of the molecules. So we target the what's inside the plant cells, which is all of the information the plant needs and everything your body needs to determine what needs to be repaired and exactly how to repair it. I could go on, but I'm going to stop right there.
Okay. I did just get a couple of questions that I thought were really interesting and that kind of spoke to this question. The first question was, what if someone has an illness that they just can't seem to shake? Will this be beneficial? And the second question was, I thought really pointed and poignant. Must you be eating a super healthy diet in order for these drops to work?
Good questions. Okay, I dropped my pen. I was going to jot that down because when I have you know, more than two questions, my mind goes off on all these possible tangents. So okay, so give me the questions again. I'm going to write them down.
Absolutely. The first question was, if someone has an illness that they can't seem to shake, like it's a long-lasting illness, will this be beneficial?
Okay, of course, because it has exactly what your body's looking for to make any of the repairs that's necessary. If you have a respiratory issue, then the ALT has the compounds in it, the information from the plant's DNA to provide you with the gene sequences that your cells need to repair themselves. You know, of course, the body needs vitamins and minerals and water and sunshine and oxygen and exercise and, you know, all these other types of nutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, and fibers, and things like that. So of course you have to do all of the above. There's no shortcut. Our bodies are very specific in what it wants and needs and what it's looking for. So if we provide it with the full array of all possible molecules that it can use to repair itself, then it will indeed repair itself. I retired my practice 11 years ago, but I still take in clients once in a while. But when I was receiving clients all the time, when I put them on a special, you know, all-encompassing, as many types of variety of foods possible, which they like because they can choose what they like to eat. When you combine all of those nutrient factors together, the body just goes to work. It loves it. You know, it just starts improving very rapidly, and it will fix just about anything.
I'd never heard that before. That was wonderful. That was a great tip, to try a lot of different foods to get your body to really go to work. The second question that people had was, will the drops only work if someone is eating a healthy diet?
Okay. Yeah, like I said, you know, I guess I already answered that, but yes, you have to include a variety of fresh foods. If you cook your foods, it's going to destroy the energy value that they have. And I'm not talking about calorie value energy. That's important too, to fuel your cells, but you have to eat raw foods because the plants take in the sun and they store the sunlight in their cells. They convert a combination of this, what's in the soil, the nutrients that are in the soil and the air and the sun. And that's what forms the carbohydrates, the fatty acids that our bodies need, and some amino acids, which, form the proteins that our bodies need as well. So, eating right is very important. A person can eat only the drops and really notice the difference. But if they're going to continue to pollute their bodies with junk food that doesn't have any nutritional value whatsoever and has lost the light energy that is so important in our cells. And that's what I'm starting to teach now, because in studying the physics of what happens at the micro and the atomic and subatomic levels is really fascinating, because we need to have that light energy fueling us as much as any of the nutrients do.
That is very important. So it will work even if they're not eating healthful food. Is that correct? But we need to make a change.
Yeah, I mean, it will. You're taking a step forward, but if you're not changing and cleaning up your biological terrain, your ecology inside, then you continue to pollute it, you're going to take a couple of steps back. So why not just go full force, full forward, and really get there fast?
Wonderful. That is really interesting to know, and to give us another reason to want to eat healthy, doesn't it? I mean, it really gives you a reason to want to do that. I'm going through the questions right now to take a look and see if I've missed anything. I know that there is a couple questions about sugar. Can you explain anything about the sweetness of our drops?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, everyone knows we're not supposed to eat a lot of sugar because that wreaks havoc on the pancreas. Your poor pancreas has to secrete all this insulin to take that sugar out of the bloodstream so you don't go into shock, right? But people who eat too many carbs, too many simple sugars will indeed tax the system that way. So, and also if you're taking a lot of sugar, then your body will convert it to triglycerides, which is why when sometimes people have blood work done, they see an elevation of blood triglyceride levels. Stress will do that too, by the way, but the body eventually will just store it as body fat. And that's why obesity is tied to eating a lot of sugar. But the candy industry knows that the only sugar that will crystallize and solidify the way the drops are is the white sugar. So they had to put in a couple of grams, I think it's 1.7 to be exact, last time I saw a label of the sugar, so that it will enclose and encase all of those precious nutrients that are in. A lot of the compounds will counter, the effect of the sugar. A lot of them are antibacterial. And a lot of them will help the pancreas regulate its ability to take up the blood sugar out of the system. Eating a healthy diet with quality protein, and that includes animal proteins, will help regulate your blood sugar as well. So the little 1.7 grams of sugar in the drops, there are more carbohydrates in the drops than that, but they are not the sucrose, the white sugar. They are the glucose, the natural sugars that are present in plants, and that the body immediately uses for cellular energy and for fueling the brain. So we don't have to worry about the other plant sugars that are naturally present in the plants. But it's the 1.7 grams. As long as you're eating a healthful diet and doing everything else right, then you should be fine with the little bit, because your body will convert it to glucose right away anyway.
Wow, that was very helpful. Thank you. That was excellent. I did also get a question about not phytonutrients, but minerals and vitamins. Are there minerals and vitamins in our drops?
There might be some micro minerals in the drops, but like I said, it's difficult to fit in these large molecules of minerals in these tiny drops. So whatever micro minerals are in there that might have been able to be fit in the size of the drop, it might seem like a really tiny thing, and you wonder how can it do so much good. Well, when we take in food, we're digesting food to that level, down to the DNA level, down to the phytochemical compounds, down to the enzymes. So that's what's in the drops, and that's what's so concentrated in there, which is exactly what your body does anyway after it eats.
That is incredible information. Thank you so much. So who should consider taking ALT?
Everybody, especially those who have allergic problems, so in the springtime, people experience these allergy reactions to the air. There are a lot of particles in the spring that are released into the air and land in our our respiratory membranes. And so they cause inflammation. They're like little sharp little burrs, that land in our membranes and make us sneeze and stuff. But your immune system should be able to be right on it and eliminate and disassemble those molecules right away and eliminate them. But if it can't, then the ALT really goes a long way toward helping the immune system do that. And like I said, a lot of those biochemical compounds in these botanicals that are in the drops will also on their own reduce inflammation.
Wonderful. Is there anything else, one more thing that you'd like to add about ALT that makes this so unique, so special, and so important in our bodies?
Yes. I don't know if any of you have looked at the book, but the book, of course, has a lot more information than even what I've been giving you today. And I do really have to try to reduce, in our time limit, what these botanicals do. They do so much more than just help the immune system or the respiratory system. And so they are multifunctional. Plants have reasons to protect themselves. So their immune systems are very strong, and they contain an array of phytochemical compounds that help the plant stay healthy and protect itself from the elements and invaders, right? Pathogenic organisms and such. So everything the plants have will also help benefit the body. So, and that includes other things, other systems in the body as well, not just the respiratory system or the immune system, a heck of a lot more.
Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you expanding on it. That is wonderful. And I've gone through all of the questions that I had on my list, and it looks like I've hit most of the questions that we have here. I do have somebody who said, will this help with issues of the throat? And I think you answered that, yes, it will. And someone said, can ALT help repair lung damage from asthma or chemical burns? And it sounds like that's true. Is that right?
Yes. Some of these botanicals have been tested that way and shown to really improve all of the tissues that are in the respiratory system. So yeah, it helps prevent that and helps repair those tissues.
Would that include for smokers as well?
Yeah, again, one step forward, 5 steps backward, smokers. I'm sorry, but that's, when you deprive your body of oxygen and coat your cells with the tar, and the toxic nicotine and maybe even some pesticide chemicals that get in the plants and are in the cigarettes too. So, the drops will go a long way toward repairing that, but if you continue to smoke, then you're just going to get yourself set back.
That is amazing and really personal to me. So thank you for answering that. Not me personally, but people I love. So I appreciate that so much. This has been absolutely amazing information, and I'm so grateful that you were able to share it and take time with us tonight. And I cannot wait for another opportunity to see you and to hear you. Teresa and our team is reminding us that from now until May 14th, buy 2 ALT, get 2 boxes of ALT free. So I'm going to open it back up so that Teresa might have something else, but I want to say personally, thank you so much. And it's been a pleasure. Hold on for just a second here. We can open up the microphone for Teresa and see if there's anything that she'd like to add.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Julia, for hosting tonight's Behind the Science call. It has been so amazing to hear everything that Mary Esther has had to share with us regarding this amazing, phenomenal category creator product. And as I mentioned on the chat, we do have this product on sale this month for buy two, get two free. So for the price of two, you are getting 4 full boxes of ALT. So take advantage of this promotion. It's only a week long. I know typically we do it for 2 weeks, but this month we've reduced it to 1 week. So that's all I have for tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you guys.
Teresa, I have one more question, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I am going to sneak this. I was asked if I could sneak it in, so I'm going to sneak it in.
Go ahead, go for it.
Mary Esther, will using these drops break ketosis, or if you're on a keto program, will this take you out of ketosis?
I don't think that's been tested in that way, but I wouldn't try it. If you're a diabetic, you have specific dietary guidelines, and that includes plenty of animal-derived protein and the right types of fats, animal fats and plant fats. Not all plant fats, but very specific plant fats that you have to make your blood sugar levels at a certain way so that you don't go into ketosis. Because when you do that, then your body has to break down your own body proteins, and that can include any tissue in the body, including the blood, even nerve cells, or anything your body needs to grab right away to convert that to stabilize your blood sugar. So you don't want to get into ketosis. And so the drops do contain 1.7 grams of sugar. And if you're in a low blood sugar state or are eating way too many sugars, overstep the boundaries of what's safe for you, then I would not try that. Even though under any other circumstance, then a lot of the phytochemical compounds in the drops will help regulate blood sugar. And the science is very clear on these compounds in these plants, but you don't want to mess with ketosis. So be very careful with that.
Thank you so much. Sorry to interrupt there, and I really, really appreciate it. Teresa, do you want to wrap us up?
Yeah, I just want to again remind you guys of this month's promotion. It's only a week long, so take advantage of that. Thank you so much, Mary Esther, for sharing so much knowledge with us, and Julia as well for hosting tonight's call. We will see you guys in 2 weeks.
It's been a real honor and a pleasure, and I'm really happy to help. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.